My favorite story is that my sorority house was haunted. I went to a college close to where the Battle of Gettysburg took place. The town did have a connection to that battle. It was also notorious for being haunted. Anyway, my sorority house was an old Victorian that sat on a steep hill. We called it the Psycho House for obvious reasons. Through the years that the sorority occupied it, so many sisters had experiences. Some sisters even saw full-body apparitions. One day in the summer, I was in the downstairs living room. My bedroom was on the first floor as well. There was only one other sister in the house at the time. She and her boyfriend, now husband, were cooking dinner in her upstairs apartment, so the house was super quiet. I went to get something from my bedroom, and as I passed by the stairwell, I saw a white figure hovering a few inches off the ground in the middle of it. It was quite an experience.
1. I feel like my grandparents' farmhouse was haunted. When I'd stay over there, I'd have dreams from time to time of an older woman with long black hair. She would talk to me, but I never remembered what she said. I wasn't afraid of her, and I only ever dreamed of her at my grandparents' house. Years later, after my grandma passed, I was looking through one of her photo albums that was given to Mom and Dad and saw the black-haired woman. Mom explained to me that was her great-aunt Elizabeth, who had passed away upstairs in that house. I'd never seen any photos of her, but had heard her name before. She was suspected of being a witch. She died in the early 70s, so they had the church come bless the house and burned all of her belongings. 2. In my early teens, probably 13 to 14, I vividly remember waking up one night to see a shadow figure with waist-length hair standing next to my bed. It was solid black and unmoving hands. My mom has always had shoulder-length hair, so I know it wasn't her. I clicked on the nightlight above my bed, booked it under the covers, and stayed there for probably an hour before peeking out. Absolutely terrified me. I asked Mom in the morning what she was doing in my room last night, and she denied it. Said she slept soundly until she got up for work.
My siblings and I have experienced phenomena in our childhood home. My dad still lives in it, and we are always visiting. Upon a recent visit, I laid down in the guest room upstairs to go to sleep. I was facing the wall, side sleeper, when I felt the bed compress at my head as though someone sat down behind my head. I jerked around, and of course no one was there. I kept this to myself, just thinking it was my imagination or vertigo or imbalance in my ear canal. I do get waves of dizziness on occasion. Well, a day later, my family are talking about previous experiences. It always comes up. And my sister said she would never sleep in the guest room again, because she felt something sit on the bed near her head the last time she slept there. That's when I confessed the same thing happened to me. My brother felt someone yank on his belt loop, and also heard screaming right beside his head at night that woke him up.
I had an encounter with a shadow person when I was a child. I think details to follow. So this happened when I was 11 years old. I remember because it was shortly after I got new bedroom furniture. This is an important detail in the potential debunking of my own story. I woke in the middle of the night to what appeared to be a sort of shadow person standing at the foot of my bed, just silently watching me. I'd hide under the covers, and every time I popped my head back up, there it was. Too afraid to even get out of bed to turn the lights on, I just hid under the covers until morning. Now about the furniture. When I got new furniture, I also flip-flopped how I arranged the furniture in my room. With my old set, my bed was facing 2 windows. With the new setup, my bed was on the same wall as the windows. My best debunking explanation for what happened is that a light source outside my house, streetlights or from my neighbor's house, was shining through my windows and casting shadows on the wall opposite my POV. Add in the developing brain of a tired 11-year-old, mix in a little pareidolia, and it's very likely I was just confused and seeing perfectly normal shadows, and I just filled in the rest of the blanks.
Okay, well, here goes. So when I was little, I would see weird stuff, like people that were out of place or plain old not there. Usually quick flashes, side of my eye type of stuff. Told my mom about it, and she just said active imagination. That's when she sort of had an odd experience herself. She said she felt someone run through her at the one house we lived in. We had a lot of odd things that can be coincidences. Like I've had dreams with people I knew in it, and it sort of happened. Like I do not like having dreams of people where they are dead, and they are still alive, because it freaks me out. We had a table that me and my sister called the Table of Life, because it had both living and dead people on it. We joked that if your picture fell, you were the next one to go. Well, her pick fell and we both looked at each other like WTF. Then a month later, she died. I burned that table after. So to say I don't know, because it could just be odd circumstances.
I had a few when I was younger. There was what I described as a shadowy little boy living in our house. I have a memory of seeing him run down a hallway and turn around a corner, and another memory of him standing by the front door. In another house, my family lived on an old farm, and I remember seeing what I thought was a ghost standing in the door to the barn. We were in the kitchen, and looked out from the kitchen window to the barn and could see someone standing in the barn door. My memory of it is that the person was kind of transparent, but you could tell they were wearing a hat and overalls. My mom and dad saw the person too, and my dad went out to look but didn't see anything. In yet another house, my brothers and I saw what we thought was the tooth fairy. We were in our upstairs bedroom and saw a ball of light fly through the room and out the door. We chased it out the bedroom door, around the corner, down the stairs, and it flew out through the glass in the living room. All three of us still wonder what it could have possibly been. My brother said he would see a black angel at our bedroom window sometimes. The black angel would be carrying a net. He would get really scared, wake me up crying that the black angel was at the window again. But I never saw it. Now that I am an adult, I've experienced what sounded like boots walking across my bedroom in the middle of the night. And once I woke up and could have sworn that someone that looked like an old grandma or something was standing over my wife's side of the bed, sort of hunched over, looking at her.